Hi everyone, and welcome to Ask Christa, the place where you can ask questions about how to work through business challenges and workplace issues. I'm Christa Dhimo, and today's listener question is covered and reviewed in so many learning tools, and yet every single company struggles. Meeting management. The listener question is, I run a weekly meeting to review risks and remediation strategies for my team. We're in consumer goods manufacturing. One of my teammates recently approached me and asked if we could reduce the meetings and only meet in person twice a month. And in the off weeks, we simply receive a status update via our Slack channel. I was open and receptive, but asked whether it was because she felt things were going smoothly and we didn't need to meet more frequently, or because the status meetings didn't feel like a productive use of time. She paused and bravely, though timidly, said it was the latter. I appreciated her candor because I'm always afraid to be that meeting where no one wants to be there. How can I run my meetings better? Okay, here's the good news, bad news. Good news, there are so many resources out there to help you with this. Bad news, there are so many resources out there to help you with this. But the most important thing about running a good meeting or improving them so they run better has to do with your preparation. The second most important thing has to do with understanding that it's not your meeting. As soon as you're asking for other people's time, it must also become their meeting. So let's talk about the purpose of a meeting and who the meeting is actually for. Is it for you? No, it isn't. Your meeting isn't for you, and it's not for your benefit. That's just silly and a little selfish. It needs to be about work, and that in order to get that work done, you need to bring people together. If your meeting isn't about that, then it's probably not a meeting. And if you feel like you need the meeting for your own benefit, I'm going to ask you to think again. Christa, I need to make sure everyone's aware of what's taking place so they can meet the deadlines. And we're already at risk for running late and need to brainstorm a solution. Okay, but truly, how is that about you as the meeting owner? Because it sounds like you have a team of people working on something and everyone needs to be aware of what's taking place so they can meet the deadlines. And if you're all already at risk for running late and need to brainstorm about a solution, the meeting is about a potentially late deliverable to something everyone should agree is important, and you need to identify and then solve whether it's putting success at risk. That's a meeting worth going to. But the moment you make it about you, and we've all been to those meetings, that's the moment people lose interest. No one wants to spend time in a meeting that's designed for and catered to what will make the meeting owner feel better or focused exclusively on what the meeting owner wants to solve, unless it's made clear to the attendees what's in it for them too. It's about the team and the team's success. So if you want to make your meetings run better, start with how they are in service to everyone in your meeting, why it matters to them or should matter to them, just as much as it matters to you. Then make that your philosophy and be that person who everyone loves having a meeting with. Be that person everyone says, those are the best meetings to go to. We get so much done and it's a good use of time. Because most of the time, meetings aren't a good use of people's time at all. How do you earn that reputation for having the best meetings? Here's where structure matters, and you can find a lot of information about this online also, so I'll be brief. In part, because it is brief. First, what's your purpose? Why are you asking people to attend? And you can start by saying in your meeting, the purpose of this meeting is to review areas of potential risk so we do not miss upcoming deadlines. You can also include why they are being asked to attend, and it might sound like this. Given your critical role in this project, I'm asking you to attend so we can hear your perspective and receive your contributions to mitigate the potential risk in the best way possible. The why you are invited sets an expectation for attendance, but it also lets them know whether they are the right people to be in attendance. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Next, what's your objective? What do you want people to all say at the end of the meeting? The objective of this meeting is to conclude with a clear, revised plan for this section of the project so as to avoid the potential risk we've identified. If you think you might need more than one meeting, it sounds like this. The objective of this meeting is to discuss the best way to revise our current plan, clarify needs, and conclude with a clear plan for next steps so we can revise the overall schedule within the next 2 weeks. You see, the purpose, the why, that's only a starting point. By conveying the objective next, you're offering a vision for what the end will look like, which anchors everyone to a common mission for the meeting. Last, offer a short list of topics or a draft agenda and do not overload it. If you are having a 1-hour meeting, you'll need to have an opener to review the purpose and objective of the meeting, then a review of the problem or topic you're addressing. And if it's a problem-solving meeting, you'll have to stick with just the problem-solving discussion. The number 2 reason meetings are so painful is because the agenda is way too packed. Meeting owners try to stuff everything in. Get to your common denominator, the 1 or 2 things that if you focus on those, the rest will follow. And remember what your philosophy is. This is about team success, so don't try to pack everything in. Set a tone, let them know why they're being asked to attend, what you want to accomplish in service to everyone's success, and make a part of that being your next steps. By the way, the number 1 reason meetings are so painful is when people show up to a vaguely written meeting subject and they have no idea why they're there. Purpose. Put thought into the design of your meeting, though. You're asking people to take time out of their day to gather. Honor that time and prove why it won't be a waste of it. Start with an opener to review purpose and objectives and topics or draft agenda. Sometimes you may ask everyone about behaviors, like you want everyone to have a chance to speak, so you're asking a lot of questions. Make sure you're listening to hear everyone out. Set that expectation. This is going to be a listening meeting. Or maybe you're looking to start with 2 subject matter experts, and they're going to review what they're having issues with first or what the issue means, and then you'll be asking others to chime in. Remember, that's part of the participation. The number 3 most painful aspect to a meeting is typically you have 1 or 2 people speaking the entire time, and everyone else is just sitting there. After that, the design. Again, just 1 or 2 topics to review and discuss, followed by a wrap-up where you're reviewing what was discussed and agreed to, and then next steps, which should include action items for the team. Communicate that design in the meeting invitation so they can see it ahead of time, and let everyone know that it's in there, and then follow up using that same meeting as a reply all to what was discussed, agreed to, and what the next steps were. Now, the opt-out, swap-out clause. Remember the purpose that tells everyone the why? I'm asking you to be here because we're going to do this. You're invited because. Be open to someone opting out if they believe there's no need for them to be there. Your job is to let everyone know why they've been selected and why you're asking them to attend. But if they do not believe they are the right fit for the purpose and or your objective, you need to give them an opportunity to tell you that. You can debate attendance, but maybe after a discussion you'll find that, you're right. It sounds like you don't need to be there. Or they'll say, you're right. It sounds like I do need to be there. Or they might say, the swap out clause, Christa is actually the one on my team doing that work, and she's a far better fit for this meeting than I'll be. That kind of swap out can only happen if people understand the purpose, why they've been invited, and what you're looking to achieve in the meeting. And then let it happen that way. Remember, this is about ways to run a better meeting. The last piece is more elusive, and that has to do with culture. In order for meetings to run well overall, there needs to be a culture of respect, especially when it comes to time and how coworkers view, honor, and respect each other's time. If you're in a culture where you're in nothing but meetings all day long, and if at least 50% of the time you feel like it's a big waste of your time, or other people think it's a big waste of their time, that's a culture that doesn't respect time. It's also probably a culture that doesn't get a lot of work done. And how can they when they're in meetings all day long? Even status meetings, like what this listener is talking about. Stop having them if you're just talking about status. No one wants to be there. They don't. And if you're there just to talk about status, then that's not a meeting. That's just status. You probably don't have to meet. Just send a note. But Christa, no one will read it if I send a note. They'll understand it if they're in attendance. Well, that's a management issue related to accountability and respect. And if they aren't reading an email or reviewing status on your project management tool or on a Slack channel, maybe they don't need to. Do they? And if their performance suffers as a result of them not keeping up with status, then that's when it becomes a management issue related to accountability and respect. If this is your culture, meetings all day long, no real work being done, no understanding of why people are in meetings or what they're trying to accomplish in a meeting, I am here to say everyone complains about it. No one likes it, and everyone attends because they can't get out of their own way. Or they don't have the courage to say, enough already. I don't want to be in meetings all day. No one does. And I'm sure half the people you work with right now are nodding their heads. For your resources, I've put in the show notes a meeting culture best practice guide from impact.org. It's from April 2021. It reviews the most common best practices. Some of them I've talked about, but goes into far more detail about the block and tackle ways of running effective meetings. It's written in an outline form, almost like a checklist. It's excellent, and it should be very useful. I just found it in preparation for this particular episode. I've also included a page from UCLA's administration page about running effective meetings, because there are several links included in that page. And I just like the concept of a university dedicating an entire page to that topic. And then just Google the phrase meeting best practices to receive a lot of additional information. This is one of those topics everyone talks about, but almost no one commits to doing well. It's astonishing to me. By the way, I'm super strict about meetings, and I block meeting free time in my schedule every day, unapologetically. There it is, episode 35, tackling a business challenge and workplace issue. Remember, my goal is to offer perspective, tips, support, and guidance that isn't available in traditional settings or channels, so keep the questions coming. Go to my show's website, askchrista.com. That's Christa with a CH, to submit your question. See my other episodes also. It's organized by categories. And sign up for my weekly newsletter, More Answers, which I issue every Sunday night to set you up for the work week. Thank you, as always, for your support. And remember, if you have a business challenge or workplace issue, ask Christa.